I hear you. I can't hear you, but you have your audio can't muted.
Wait, how about now? That working?
No, now it works because your audio.
Now we're working. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just enjoying the day, and working on some projects around the house, taking it easy. This is my weekend I don't have kids this weekend. My ex-wife has them. So I tend to take a day to myself and relax, put my feet up, and then tomorrow I'll get back on some projects for my kids and other things.
How old are your kids?
11 and 8, both boys.
That's fun, I guess.
Oh, it's you said you're an uncle, right? You don't have kids yourself?
No, I don't have kids myself, but I have all my nieces and nephews are like tiny, like
I got you.
3 to 5 and 3 months.
I got you. No, I know. I grew up with 7 brothers and sisters, and every Tuesday I have anywhere between 5 kids at my house every Tuesday. I help out with. I go to a local jiu-jitsu academy. There's a bunch of moms. There's a women's only class that's on Tuesdays. They don't have childcare late at night, so they bring their kids here. We do Nerf wars, and I said every TV up in the house play Minecraft with them, or if it's warm enough, we do outside and play the trampoline and pool and shit like that. But we've been doing that for a while too. So a couple 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 8-year-olds, the whole list.
Well, that must be like a packed house.
It is, but it's 3 hours of solid fun because I have a whole living room dedicated to Legos right now.
Yeah.
And then between that with the Nerf wars, we just tend to go crazy. And then Monday, Tuesday, I have jujitsu myself, and then I just go to work, and I have about a 3-hour window both days where I can kind of walk around the house, cleaned up all the mess we made on that day. So it's kind of my weekly thing,
Yeah. Do you have to when you watch the kids, because you have the younger ones at the house, do you have to change diapers at all?
With the littlest one, yes, but because he has been potty trained, we're working on potty training with him. So I have to go in and help him. So he's not 2 anymore; he's 3.5 now. But he lets you know when he has to go to the bathroom. You walk in there and he gets in the toilet. You have to help him wipe, but he can generally go number 1 by himself. So that's not too bad. But really, he just walks in and goes, "Joey, got poop." I'm like, "Okay, let's go, man. Let's go take care of it." And he's pretty good about it. He's only had a couple accidents here and there.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of interesting. You have to deal with that, though.
No, I grew up with that many brothers and sisters and that pure chaos. It's
yeah.
The point of I do this with my life coaching on TikTok is you have to experience chaotic moments like that to appreciate the quiet moments more.
Yeah.
If all you ever have is quiet your whole life and then you have chaos, you're going to fold under the pressure. So,
yeah. I mean, there's tons of dads out there, I feel like, that follow me on Instagram or TikTok. I guess they have some crazy moments in their life.
mm-hmm.
Single dads, or they're just, I don't know, just can be tough through what they're living with.
Well, it's about battling your own demons and trying to put yourself first, because as much as I do this, because I'm coaching a few different guys right now about this, I always like to say kids first, which we want to do.
Yeah.
But overall, honestly, it's you first, because if you're not healthy, you're not going to be a good role model for around the kids.
That's totally true.
So you have to have your mind straight when going in to watch those kids. So you have to put yourself first, essentially. And then in the moments, of course, do I take care of my needs before the kids' needs in those moments? Of course, you want to pick the kids' needs, but up to those moments, you always got to pick yourself. So you go in with that right mindset.
What made you be a dad?
Well, what made me a dad was my old man, who was a decent old guy. He's a decent guy, but he was in prison most of my life. And when he wasn't in prison, he wasn't really there. He lived in Portland. My mom lived in Washington. It was a 4 or 5 hour difference. And we'd only see him about occasional holidays and about a month in the summertime. And the only time we ever saw him, he was always working. He'd be out in his shop working. We'd be in the house. He'd drag us to the shop occasionally, and then we'd open pick up stuff, or we'd do the chores around the house. But we never really hung out with him. I never really got to know my dad until I was about 14, 15 years old. Really never got to know who he was. And even then, me and him to this day, we clash, because he's the type of guy that views money as the see-all. I will admit that he does make some pretty good money for only having a 7th grade education out of his house, with a pretty successful welding business. But he's never really known how to be a father, or he doesn't know how to be a grandfather.
Yeah.
So when I think back on my life, and I realize that, I was always that kid that never had a dad on the baseball field coaching, or never even on the stands. And I never had a dad at parent-teacher conferences, and he was just never there on any of that stuff. I decided as a young kid, if I ever was going to have kids, I was going to be at every single one of them. So instead of, I know a lot of people, I have some good friends of mine, and I don't try to own the conversation, so you stop anytime you want, that's continued what their father did. So their father was an absentee, so they're an absentee father. And you have to break those cycles if you ever want to advance in civilization. You cannot keep reliving that. You can't keep reliving the past.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, my childhood was way different. I mean, my dad didn't want to have kids, but my mom made him to have kids.
yeah.
But me and my sister grew out of it, I guess. We just kind of did our own thing. But he was invited, but he just was not really interested. So I understand.
Yeah, it sounds like you do.
But I mean, I would love to have kids. I just want to take care of myself first before I have kids.
Well, of course. You just don't. You got to find that right person, and then, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 34.
You were the same age as me. When's your birthday?
January 4th.
Oh, so you just turned 34.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a couple months ahead of you then. The way I look at it like this, and as much as I love my kids and I love being a dad, where my kids are at right now, I will be 46 roughly by the time both of my kids will be college age and out of the house, in their 20s.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who's your age who has twins in the oven.
Incredible.
And I'm happy for him. He's happy about it. This is his first kids. And he's excited about it. He's been 20 questioning me, and he's been coming over on Tuesdays occasionally to kind of experience the chaos a bit. And he gets overwhelmed pretty quick, but he's just trying to get used to it a little bit. And, I look at him, and, he's going to be in his 70s before the kids are out of the house. And I know that he got to live a pretty good life without the kids, but I don't know. I just look at, I have all these dreams and aspirations. So for me to be the best parent I can and possibly just give them this house when they're that age. You guys want to stay in this area? Great. Want to come to California with me? Great. Do whatever you guys want to do. Support your dreams, sell the house, go to college, do whatever you guys want to do. And that's kind of what my plan has been. It's just I'm going to try to get them to adult age. And the things about dads, you have to realize also, as much as we can coddle and give them all the dreams in the world, we also have to make them tough enough to survive it without us.
Yeah.
So, and I give my sisters crap because they're single moms, and all their daughters are great kids, but they, I don't mean to sound so callous about it, but they're really soft kids. And as they get older and older, they realize the world's a little harsher than that, and you have to be able to survive it, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I apologize, man. I have ADD and I tend to talk too much, so I don't. If
That,
I own the conversation, man, you stop me. Just say, "Hey, I gotta say something." Just stop me.
well, I talk a lot too, so I like talking. But it's I like how you're saying everything because it's true. You have to deal with that comes out, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, and mostly why my living with a disability is tough. So, and what I'm going through, I want everything done before I find love, or it's just tough. It's just tough living my life right now. Been in surgeries. I just came out with a health condition 4 years ago.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know. I mean, I want kids. I want to adopt. That's all I want to do because there's so many kids out there that needs families,
Absolutely.
and um, I can't make any children, so I rather just adopt.
Of course. Um, but I just have to comment on one thing you said, if you don't mind. Um, no parent who has a kid on the way is ever ready for the kid. No, not a single one of them. You could be your sixth kid, and they're not ready for him.
Yeah,
So when you say that you're trying to get some stuff taken care of first, I just want, as if I can, as a friend to you, go in with eyes open, because you may feel that it may not be the right time, but you might find that person tomorrow that might hit that spark for you. Are you dating anybody right now, or?
single guy.
So that's what I thought. So you might find that person tomorrow, but in your brain, you're like, oh, I don't have this and this and this accomplished. But when it comes to being a father and when it comes to being in love, that stuff springs up on you. And if you go in with a mindset that I have to have this, this, and this done before this can happen, you might miss out, because I know people who are in their 70s who haven't had a serious relationship in 50 years because all they wanted to do was get certain things done first. And they just kept adding to their lists. Well, I want to get this done. Well, now I want to get this done. Now I want to get this done.
Yeah,
And they never opened their heart for that, you know? So I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm just saying, make sure you keep an open mind. That's all.
yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, been this week just trying to get over a sickness and been had a cold for a while,
Yeah.
kind of screwing all my plans up with all these interviews coming to me. And I kind of
Gotcha.
canceled a couple of them, and I said, well, I'm not going to delete this one or cancel this one.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy. If this happened, it happened. If it didn't, it didn't. We would have rescheduled. I'm pretty, life has a way of kicking us when we're down a lot. And you just got to like to live in those commercial breaks, just accept what happens.
Yeah,
And I understand, I don't understand, I can't say I understand all your health stuff you have, but I can understand some of it because I've got a good list of health things I have to battle myself, but I'm controlling my diet a little better and I'm managing certain ways to live. And I'll have to have surgery in 4 years to probably remove a kidney that's damaged. That's just making things worse for me. Um, my kidneys didn't develop correctly. One of my right kidney didn't develop correctly. My doctor believes it was because I may have been a drug baby.
oh,
And so my right kidney is maybe 2/3 of the size it should be.
That's
It doesn't process chemicals and things as well as it should, and it actually throws off an enzyme that is making me sick because of it.
well, the disability that, well, I have a learning disability, but also that's kind of scares me, but I'm living with it. But um the health condition, I found out I had HSP. That means I can't walk like I used to.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm just using a wheelchair or a walker to walk around with my braces.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough because I'd have those days. But I'm living with it. I still do what I love to do. So I'm
Yeah,
keeping,
that's just was important.
yeah. And I do a lot of great things in this world for uncles and fatherhood, and I have my own cookie business and do that, and music and all different kinds of interesting projects that keep
That's
me
awesome.
excited.
It's awesome. No, I do what I can for the people in my community, and beyond that, I don't reach out too far. But I don't have I don't know. With my life the way it is, between my kids being in jujitsu, me make sure they're doing that, and I'm back in jujitsu now, and then sending them for competitions and training them. I want to make sure that by the time they're my age, they can know how to handle themselves as an adult.
Yeah.
So that's 4 days a week for us there, and little league's coming up, baseball's coming up. Watch my niece and my nephews and kids as friends, and then I do wood projects on the side. I don't have a whole lot of time. I throw a date in there randomly when I find somebody who I think is worth it to try, but I haven't really found that one yet. Not since the ex-wife.
Yeah. What would be like, what is your favorite thing you like to do with your boys when you have when you see them?
Oh, build Legos with them. And I know this is you're recording this for more of the audio portion, and bear with me. It's kind of messy right now. But
Mhm.
this is our Lego city. We have Lego buckets, we have Lego prisons, we have Legos on the walls up here. Eventually, they have their own private little Lego stash on the shelf over there. Eventually, there's going to be Lego shelves in here nonstop with Star Wars Legos up. We have a few in my gun room set aside for right now. But every 3-day weekend, every weekend I have with them. So this is my weekend without them. Next weekend, what we do is my favorite day of all. We call it Yes Day. And they got a cartoon or a movie they watch. So that day, I get my paycheck the weekend before. And I usually budget in between $50 to $100, depending on what bills I have that come out. And we get to do whatever they want, whatever they name, for 24 hours.
Have you seen the movie?
I have not seen the movie. The kids told me about it, but I have not watched it myself.
Oh, it's very funny.
So we went hiking at 1 a.m. a while back with flashlights and the dog. It's 18 degrees here at night, but it's Yes Day. Let's go do it. We've built Legos. We've had Minecraft marathons. It was their idea to put, we took a TV out of that room and put it in my living room. So there's 2 TVs in here now. So now we can play video games together while watching movies.
That's fun.
So it's pretty much whatever their little minds want to do. The other day, they wanted to take their hoverboard, put a laundry basket on a skateboard, and pull each other around on the hoverboard. And they wanted me to film it. And so we did that.
Did that work though?
It did work pretty well. Helmets were on. They crashed a couple times, but it was because they had helmets on. They just laughed it off and they went back to do it again.
Oh,
So
that sounds fun.
yeah, they have their own TikToks. They want to do that, and I kind of monitor what they watch. They have our own TikTok, which we do all 3 of us. I think it's called Legend of the Curtis Boys or something like that. And then we don't really do it for the followers, just do it for the editing fun, because my oldest wants to be a film designer.
Huh?
So now we're looking at buying. I'm looking slowly at money's tight at buying attachments for the hoverboards to make them like go-karts almost.
Oh, that's cool.
And we're gonna get. I have a go-kart in storage that fits adults. I have to get out, so we're gonna get all of them out, and we're going to get Mario Kart hats. So I'll be Toad. We're gonna be Yoshi. We're gonna get some stuffed turtles. We're gonna get some camera set up. We're gonna put the Mario music. And we're gonna make a track somewhere, and we're gonna make like Mario Kart noises, throwing green turtle shells at each other and stuff like that.
Do they have the game?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we've played Mario, a lot of hours of Mario. I have it on the Switch, but mostly they like it on my old Nintendo 64.
Yeah, but I still have that game too.
Yeah, so
All the old Nintendos and all those fun little games.
yeah, I just bought them Zombies Ate My Neighbors for Sega Genesis. You ever play that one?
No, doesn't.
It was one that me and my little brother we used to love as kids. I just bought that one for them on Sega, and I think they're gonna like it, but they haven't played it yet.
All the games that I have, they're mostly at my sister's house now because I'm just not playing with them that much that I used to. But we used to play them all when we were little, and now it's just like, just I have all the other ones now, just collecting in my closet. That some of them, but now I play the Switch. So
Gotcha.
and
I pretty much stick to my Xbox myself. I don't play and I don't even play. I think I've played more today than I probably had in the last 3 weeks combined.
what have you been doing for COVID? Those are your games for COVID?
Well, COVID hasn't really affected my life really, because where I work is we're only a 6-man work crew. And on top of that, now 3 guys, 1 guy fired, 2 guys quit. So now we're only a 3-man working crew. So, most time I work by myself anyway.
Yeah.
So, unless I think 1 week, my son had to stay out for 2 weeks because he got COVID, but I never got it. But for the most part, for us, with my ex-wife, the way we drop the kids off back and forth, I'm not really in physical contact with her. We're just really good co-parents together. We just keep each other informed about the kids, and that's really all we ever talk about. But so, I mean, honestly, when it came to COVID, that's when I started doing my wood projects. I started making epoxy tables to sell online, making wooden swords. I'm actually, I made a couple. I don't know if you ever play Assassin's Creed. I made a couple like legitimate axes with a plasma cutter and steel, and took wood handles and actually put them on the right way and everything. And I sold a couple of those on Etsy for a couple $100 a piece.
That's cool.
So that's been my if I've gained anything from COVID, to be that. So.
And do you have a garage that you do this all in?
I have I don't know what it was supposed to be. But it's my ex-wife this used to be her smoking room because she was a hardcore cigarette smoker. But now it's my little wood shop area, so I can give you a quick little tour. It's not enough to park a car in. It's kind of small, but this is the new project I'm working on right now. This will be an epoxy table. So I just got the first coat on last night. This will take about 3-4 days to dry. I'll put another coat on. Take this cherry stained wood here. That'll be inside it, and then also this one, because I'm making it for either me or a client. He's in the air right now. He wants it, so I'm making it to measurements that I want, in case he doesn't want it. It's going to make it look like bullet shells and bullet tips in it to make it look like the bullets are firing inside the table.
Oh, that's cool.
So do that also with it. So, and then I'll take a torch and a plasma cutter, and I'll make the legs of some flat steel and twist them up and make them look really nice, and put them on there too. So it's a fun little hobby.
Yeah. What does your kids like to do, like besides playing video games and
And Legos?
Yeah.
See, well, their room's kind of a mess. Well, this is one of their rooms, but switch this around. Oh, well, I can turn the camera. This is supposed to be his Nerf wall, and all of his Nerf guns are off of it right now because we like to do Nerf. We do crazy Nerf wars. We'll take over parks. And that actually opens up a door into his bedroom. So besides my kids are both gray belts in jiu-jitsu right now. They both love it. They're both going to compete again at the beginning of March. My oldest has 1 silver medal so far.
Is that
They both,
karate or something?
it's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's more of a wrestling for submission.
Oh,
There's no actual striking or punching. A while back, my oldest son got in a fight. I guess what I understand of it, I was so proud of him when this happened. A little boy in his class went over and hit a girl, and my son said, "You can't do that." The little boy turned to swing at him. He dodged him, wrapped him up in a hold that he knows, put him in an arm bar, and held him and said, "You." And the kid started struggling. He's like, "I'm going to hold you here until you're done, or the teacher gets here. But you let me know when you're done." And my son just held him there until the teacher got there. Never took a swing at him once.
wow.
Calmly, cool, collected, just pinned him immediately. Teacher got there. If my son would have kept going, he could have broke his arm, but my son's trained enough to know not to do that.
Wow, that's crazy.
So 11 years old, standing up for a girl in his class. I'm pretty proud of him for that. So, they like to cook with me. They're getting to the point where they're getting pretty proficient with my air fryer. My 8-year-old loves making bacon in the air fryer.
Yeah, I love my air fryer as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was last night. I was watching some of you TikTok people. I'm not friends with them really, but I just follow them. But they were cooking cookies out of the air fryer, and they said, I thought they were cooking out of the stove, and they said, no, you guys are not doing it right. You're not doing it right. So then somebody said, no, that's not a stove, that's an air fryer. And I said, oh, well, I never cooked that in my air fryer with cookies, but
I'm honestly getting to the point where I'm not sure why I have an oven anymore.
well, I love my oven.
Well,
I love the oven, but I mean, sometimes you just don't want to cook out of the oven, just want to cook out of the air fryer because it's much easier and it's much faster.
yeah, well, it's
Like 20
I
minutes.
made a big plate of nachos the other day. You have to broil the cheese a little bit. So yeah, I think that's the first time I've used the oven in over a month though,
Yeah,
because it's just we just keep using the air fryer.
yeah. I guess air fryers are only smaller for smaller things. I guess bigger things are for bigger things, I guess.
Well, yeah, excuse me, I have a pretty good sized air fryer. I actually fit a small chicken in it the other day. Came out really good. I got a bigger, expensive one. So
yeah, I have something, it's nice. I mean, I got it for Christmas. I mean, it's
gotcha.
nice that can make you can put a lobster in. I don't know. People do it. You can put lobsters in it, I guess.
I've heard that you could probably fit a full lobster in mine.
But I did. My mom's friend lives in Boston, and she mailed us some real lobsters from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like she sent them in the mail, and they were alive, and then we just cooked them. So I mean, they were good. I mean, it was just fun seeing live lobsters in the box.
Yeah, so you're not usually getting something alive in the mail. I get that.
Yeah. So, but it's good. Well, yeah, I have some questions on here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever got a really good Father's Day, Chris, like Father's Day gifts?
No. And mainly because I my ex-wife used to give me some things for Father's Day. And I generally take my kids shooting on Father's Day. But ever since my divorce, I have changed my birthdays and Father's Days. And back when I was married, because I was married for 15, we were together for 15 years. Father's Day was more of a what do you want to do today type thing. So it was, I got to pick where we go to dinner, and let's do that. Well, I've changed it now because I've told my kids it is Father's Day, but for Father's Day, I want to see you guys happy. So what do you guys want to do? I completely love seeing my kids overly happy because they're both getting pretty good grades. One of them struggling a little bit right now in some things, but those really good kids. I don't have her have to go to school for fights. And so when it comes to Father's Day, even my birthday this last year, I demanded no presents and no, we're going to go do this instead. Instead of me getting and receiving a gift for that, we will go, like for other Washington. So there's a place in Idaho about 4 hours away called Triple Play, which is a water park, arcade, go-kart track, all that stuff all in one. So I said, no, for my birthday, we're going to go there this year. I don't want any presents. So, and then for Father's Day, I think we did go shooting. That's right. We did go shooting, and they wanted to blow up pumpkins with some tannerite. So we did that.
That's fun, I guess.
Yeah. So they got to blow up pumpkins.
That sounds very interesting, throwing pumpkins through the fields.
Well, yeah, for us, it's you can buy this stuff. It's called tannerite, and it's like it almost looks like packing peanuts or like little beads, and you just shake it up with the chemical in, and as soon as the bullet hits it, it explodes a big powder. Well, if you put it into a pumpkin and you shoot it, the pumpkin explodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And my 8-year-old loves it. My 11-year-old is becoming a pretty good shot with his rifle. My 8-year-old, he is still a little standoffish with it, which is fine. Everybody trains a different thing, but that's kind of their thing, is to go out and plink a few rounds with the 22 and just be comfortable with it.
Yeah. What's your daily routine as a dad?
Monday morning, 6 a.m. wake up, bang on doors, tell them whoever gets the shower first gets to pick the show they watch because I always like to watch show with their breakfast. Whoever gets the shower first, the other one that person gets to pick the show at breakfast. They tell me what they want, and they usually have 4 or 5 options for them: waffles, toasted strudels. I can make pancakes real quick, eggs, sausage. And by 6:30, usually they're both washed out of the shower, getting dressed, and I have breakfast done. Whoever won, they kick back on the breakfast bar, and they will drink some delight and eat their breakfast. Sometimes make different things for both of them. Make my lunch, make their lunch. They go to school, go to work. 4:30, I get home, pick them up from my ex-wife at her work, because they go to their mom's work to do their homework every day.
Yeah.
Pick them up there. We rush home. We get jujitsu gis. We get one of them fed because one of them has jujitsu at 5:45. So he's about an hour. He's home, so we get him food in his belly. Get over to jitsu. Come back, get the other one fed. Do dishes, clean house, do laundry, catch ball, and all that dad stuff. Bring the next kid to jiu-jitsu, pick the other kid up, bring him home. At that point, with my youngest, because it's the only time that me and my youngest are alone, and just like when the youngest is there, sometimes me and my oldest are home. Instead of just doing dishes and clean laundry, I kind of give them the option, like, hey, what do you guys want to do just daddy tonight? This is just a one-on-one daddy time. You have about 45 minutes every that time. So a lot of times, because it's Monday, Mondays are they can do whatever they want day, as in if they want to go hide in their bedroom and just watch TV, they can. If they want to just detox from the world and not think about things, that's fine.
What kind of TV shows do they watch in the morning?
In the morning, it is a lot of Mr. Beast on YouTube, which I don't care much for, but it makes them laugh. And a lot of times, if it's my choice, we still watch Looney Tunes. I bust out my media server. I have a media server in my house, so I will put up 1967 Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Speedy Gonzales, and we just laugh about it the whole time. They love it.
Yeah, those are some oldies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then Tuesdays for us is our kind of chaos day. As soon as I get them home, about 30 minutes before other kids show up. So that's when we're kind of hiding the toys that don't want the other kids to play with and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would think so. So don't have any broken toys of their own.
Yeah. Yep. So we end up having, I think last week we had 7, 8 kids. I think this week might have maybe 9. We just kind of we'll rearrange the house, move the living room furniture, throw jiu-jitsu mats down where the kids can wrestle and play. I pretty much just stay in the kitchen at that point, play ringleader, and just clean, cook.
What kind of foods do you make these kids?
Whatever they want. Chicken wings, hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, homemade pizza. One of their favorites is pigs in a blanket. They made themselves though. Get the little sausages and get the bread, and they will sit here and make their own pigs in a blanket. I'll throw them in the oven or the air fryer for 10 minutes afterwards. They love them. They eat them up.
Do you do any arts and crafts?
We do a lot more science kits than anything else.
Yeah.
So a lot of my 11-year-old now, he's obsessed with science right now. We have about 4 or 5 science kits we bust out. Start mixing random chemicals with random things. And he's last week we did a vinegar baking soda rocket.
Those are fun.
So did that last week. I think I'm gonna change the chemical up a little bit because we have some stuff at work that we use to clean up oil spills. But I can't remember the chemical compound is, but when you mix that with Mentos, it is a hell of a lot bigger of a blast.
Oh yeah.
So I think I'm gonna grab some of that from work and make a rocket do that, because I think we'll probably get it over the roof if we do it with that.
Have you done what is that thing called? I forget the name of them. The things that come out of a volcano, like the volcano, whatever.
The volcano, yeah. No, we've done stuff that's similar to the volcano, but not the volcano itself, but more of the mixture of it. Only because they have the science experiment that makes fake snow. And it's really cool to watch it because it's my 8-year-old's favorite. You just mix these 2 chemicals that comes with it together, and out comes fake snow. And you can handle it, you can hold it. It feels more like I'd say wet styrofoam is kind of what it feels like. So what we did a while back was we piled up the wet snow and just made a slight layer over the top and did the same thing with the volcano with a pile of snow. And because it's absorbent material, we put blue dye in it instead of orange for the lava. You could see it come off one side and change everything blue.
That's cool.
So yeah, the science experiments are generally every Friday night, every other Friday night thing for us here.
So where do you find these science kits?
Amazon and Walmart.
Gotcha.
If any Walmart has a crafting section, you go there. There's usually 5 or 6 science kits, and when we get to the point where we're just getting bored with those ones, we will actually start looking at the chemicals ourselves and try to find something that's safe for us to make in the house.
So burn down the drone.
Yeah, I don't want to burn down the house, so.
Let's see what else questions I have on here. Do you have any embarrassing stories?
Yeah, absolutely. And well, not embarrassing for me, I guess. My 11-year-old comes out of his bedroom the other day, and he's walking really funny, like something's pinching him down there.
Yeah.
And I go, son, what are you doing? And he goes, Dad, my hair is stuck in my zipper.
Oh,
Well, he started puberty a little while ago. He decided that instead of looking for underwear on the clean laundry pile, because I didn't know laundry yet, he was just going to zip his pants up, not wear underwear. We got his pubic hair stuck in his zipper.
oh, geez.
So he was really embarrassed to tell me, but he started to put his coat on like he's fine, but he's still walking like he's leaning in. I'm like, what are you doing? And I had to talk him down, calm him down, like, look, stuff happens, it's okay. And I had to take a pair of scissors, hold his pants out, and cut his hair off of him so he could take his pants off.
Oh, geez. That must have been crazy.
Funny to me, he's pretty embarrassed about it,
Yeah.
but it was funny to me. So
That's a crazy story.
he's not gonna forget that as he gets older. So
Um, well, it's also on the internet now.
yeah, that's fine.
That's really funny.
If I ever stand-up comic, that's gonna be one of the things that's on the list for sure.
Any other funny stories that's from when they were little to now?
Off the top of my head, I'm sure I can come up with a couple. I actually just put this one on Facebook not long ago. And it's a little more adorable than anything else. So my youngest son was 2. You know, he's those language skills down still.
Yeah.
And we used to tell him, hey, Grayson, you're pretty cute. Well, because he still didn't understand everything quite yet. He goes, I'm not cute enough. I'm not cute enough. And you get mad about it. So you get yelling at us, he's not cute enough. What he was trying to say, that's enough. Stop telling me I'm cute.
Wow.
But what comes out is not cute enough, not cute enough.
Um,
So everywhere we'd go for the next few weeks is, hey, you're pretty cute, not cute enough. And that'd come out of his mouth. And as he got a little bit older, his language skills would get a little bit better, but it was still kind of squirrely. We have some friends over here one night, and they're a little more of the church persuasion. You know, me, I'm just kind of whatever happens, happens. If some kids say a bad word, you just tell them not to do that no more. If they keep it up, then punish them. But he didn't know what he was saying, and he didn't really. It didn't sound like what he was saying. He wasn't trying to say that. But
yeah.
one of the kids burped.
Oh, yeah.
The mom was there, goes, excuse me, excuse you. And my 3-year-old, 2-year-old, half the time goes, well, excuse me. Well, the way he said it, though, the way it comes out of his mouth doesn't sound like excuse me. It sounds like screw me.
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm like, excuse you, Gracie. And he's like, no, screw you, daddy. Screw you, Bubba. Screw you, mommy. And he's pointing at everybody saying it, trying to say excuse you. But what comes out of his mouth is screw you. And yeah, they didn't stay very long because they thought we were teaching our kid that, but he was trying to say excuse you because of he was still figuring out his language skills. It came
Yeah.
off screw you. And that's still it's actually still a ringtone when one of my friend of mine calls me who was there that night. When he calls me, it's screw you, daddy, screw you, mama, screw you, Bubba. That's my ringtone when he calls.
You still have it?
I still have it, yeah. My
Does
8-year-old hates it, but I love it.
well, that's kind of cool. You have it in your phone.
Yeah, I have a terabyte hard drive full of videos when they're growing up. If I would have thought about that question more before we got on here, I could have pulled up some very funny videos to show you.
Well, that's what a friend of mine said always to me, like, you always had your camera every time because they used to live with me, and I always took pictures of everything they were doing because she wouldn't have a camera out. I would have to have it out, and I would like taking pictures and taking videos. And she, you're not going to put that on the internet? And I said, yeah, I am. So, so but all the pictures of her kids are on the internet or off the internet or somewhere that I can't find them, but they're still around.
Yep. I put a lot of them on Facebook because most of my family lives in Portland. I don't. And that's really the only way that my niece, my nephew, my mom, and my dad even see their grandkids and niece and nephew is Facebook.
Yeah.
So
And
Facebook on Christmas.
it's a good um scrapbook or whatever. But
Yeah,
um,
it works. It works.
I mean, not a lot of people have Facebook, but I do. I have all the socials. To keep me occupied with the groups, like the Uncles and Fatherhood is on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube.
As you already know, I mean, I put on TikTok a lot.
Yeah, I saw the video. That made me happy.
I pretty much stick to only TikTok and Snapchat these days. I'm not on Facebook very much.
Yeah.
For me, the transformation I did this last year was weird. When I got divorced, I moved in this area to have a relationship with my ex-wife's family. And when I got divorced, those relationships ended overnight. So I went from having 50 people that I can have here overnight to having nobody I can have here overnight. So for the last year, I've really got adapted to more of solitude, and just when it's the kids, it's just me and the kids. Like, I can't depend on nobody else in my life, and that's fine. And I don't have a lot of friends, so when it comes to the Facebook apparatus, I don't need it as much anymore. You know, it's not like I have people to talk to that are local. The only thing I do on Facebook now is I do lead a group in the summertime. It's called it's a local parents group, and we host Nerf wars at parks. So we'll bring all 30 something Nerf guns we have and darts, take over a park. I bring my barbecue, we bring pop and water for the kids. We make an entire event out of it. So every kid in the neighborhood and all over town will show up, and we'll have this huge Nerf war and cover a park.
That's fun.
So I do that in the summertime, but for the most part, and then I do a lot of life coaching still for other people on Snapchat. So
How does that work?
it didn't start off that way. It started off with me rediscovering who I was and going through some meditation stuff I did, and then teaching other people on TikTok how to do it. And then it became, well, can you help me on Snapchat? And then it became, well, can you help my friends? Sure. And then it became, hey, can you be my life coach? And it just became evolving from then. And then somebody offered me a paying job as a life coach. I turned it down because I do that. I do it to help people. I don't do it for the income. You know, I don't need to fill out insurance paperwork and bill somebody to have somebody just to talk to somebody once in a while. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So it has evolved from me just want to help people to now I'm an accidental life coach, as I like to say.
I mean, I've talked to people that were trying to get me to do a life coaching kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's expensive. I can tell you that it's totally expensive, and it's out of my budget range.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't do it, but I'll be friends with them. But I won't be doing their their talking to them and sharing my whole story, and then doing all that fun stuff with them. But I mean, I would talk to them, but I just wouldn't spend the money for it.
Correct. Yeah, no, that's how I feel about it. I don't think that if somebody's in crisis mode, they should have to fill out insurance paperwork and pull out a credit card to have somebody to talk to.
I mean, I'll go to a therapist, but I wouldn't go to uh, a, a life coach.
Right. And when I say an accidental life coach, I mean that sincerely, because I am not qualified by anybody. This is not something I ever set out to do.
Yeah.
I have just experienced a lot in my life, and I can just offer people a different perspective. And generally, if I'm talking to somebody for a long period of time, I can pick up on a lot of things about that person. Um, you know, me and you haven't talked enough to really get to know you that well, but for other people, I can really pick up where they struggle at and other things and exercises they could do. But I am not certified by any means necessary.
Well, I mean, I like talking to you. Um, and I mean, when I'm on TikTok, I talk to a lot of people, but it's not a lot of, it's hard to do these lives because nobody really comes on to my lives that often. Mostly the people that I talk to that I'm friends with, that I've been doing a couple interviews with, or they come on my podcast. I'm kind of friends with them, but not like we go and hang out every day. No, or they live somewhere far away.
Yeah. No, I don't. I have one friend of mine who I hang out with every 2 weeks, but for the most part, it's either me and my kids or me.
Yeah, it's mostly family or just little get-togethers with
Yeah.
with maybe a couple of friends. But I mean, that's why I'm a part of the Best Buddy Citizens chapter in Kansas
Mhm.
City, and do that on certain days of the week, and then I do all my other projects like my baking, and I just did a big party for a 2-year-old's party. I made little light bolts for his birthday party. Made little cookie cutter light bulbs,
Mhm.
and they love them. So just trying to get the word out with my cookies.
Right.
I mean,
Well, it's
getting there, but
no,
it's
you are, and I got to hand it to you, man. With everything that you're gone through and you've had to go through, all we can really do in this world is the best we can.
yeah,
You're doing it, and I applaud you for it, man. You're doing a heck of a job.
yeah. I also accepted to I submitted to go back to school again. So hopefully I get that opportunity. It's a leadership program for people with disabilities, trying to change the world. So
Mhm.
hopefully I get into that. So
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
so I'm just waiting on that situation, the interview that will be coming soon, hopefully.
Good. I hope you get it.
Oh, thank you. Um, anything else you want to say before we
The only thing I can say is to all of your listeners, whether they be mothers, fathers, uncles, or anything else, we all get to a point where anxiety as a parents builds up and you feel like you just need a break. But your kids don't know that anxiety. And your kids will not know that. They will only perceive it as fear. So if your listeners at all, and I can say this because I've been on both ends of this when I was depressed and wasn't being a very good dad and as a kid. If you get to that point where you're about to explode and yell at your kid, give it honest thought if it's you or them that's really doing it, if it's really warranted. And remember that some things in a child's mind will last forever and shape them forever. So yeah, I think that'd probably be, and the only reason I say that is because that's been a pretty constant lately on my life coaching stuff.
got you? Where people can find you at if they wanted to message you.
I would do still TikTok. I have it set so even if you're not my followers, you should be able to message me on there, or if I'm not your friends on there. Just it's just Joey Curtis 56, or even if you did get me on Facebook, which is just Joey Curtis. I look for Ephrata Washington if that helps. And if I have time, I will talk to anybody and everybody. If I have my kids, there's a good chance I'm ignoring my phone. But when I don't have my kids, which is 5 days 1 week, 2 days the next, or anytime after 8:30 their bedtime, I'm pretty open.
Thank you so much for doing this interview on my for uncles and fathers.
Yeah, thanks for putting it on, Daniel. You're a good guy. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll let you know when it's up and running.
Sounds good.
Well, have a good night. And also, I was going to ask you, are you going to watch the football game tomorrow?
That is my plan. We will see. I have some things I'd like to get done around the house, so I might put it on the background. But if it's not a close game, I probably won't care.
Oh, I think it's the Super Bowl game.
We have the Super Bowl, but like I don't have a loyalty to any team.
Oh,
I like to see a close score game.
do you like the music? I don't know who's playing, but I'm interested in the music.
Oh, the halftime show is going to be a pretty good one. I think I'm interested in that one.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I don't. I kind of live my life by the moments. What do I want to do right now?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I like football a little bit. I'm mostly into basketball, but
mhm,
like the college basketball teams. But if there's something on, I guess I'll watch it. If
yeah,
it's Chiefs, I'll watch it. But I mean, I'm sad that they're not playing at the Super Bowl this year, but it's okay.
before you go, I used to be a hardcore 49ers fan. Colin Kaepernick, his first year was a great player. That second year, his interview that he did where he blamed the team for his failings, it ruined me from being a fan of the 49ers completely.
Really?
And now I'm not really loyal to any team at all. I just like to watch a good game.
Yeah. Well, the funniest thing, the very famous guy that's on the Chiefs, he lives down the street from my mom's house. It's
Gotcha.
that so fun. I guess it's just so interesting that some people just live like we live.
Mhm.
So, but but have a good night, and I'll let you know when everything is posted and up and running.
Sounds good, Danny. You have yourself a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.